Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to the Nursing in Style podcast. In this episode, we're empowering nurses to lead, innovate, and own their piece of healthcare. I'm your host, Danielle R. Jenkins, and today we have the privilege of sitting down with two extraordinary nurse leaders who have dedicated their careers to advancing home infusion nursing and developing the future of nurse leaders. We'll discuss leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, and the future of home infusion nursing and the vision behind the Home Infusion Nurse Summit. Our guest, Fran Brown, is a nurse executive, entrepreneur, speaker, and educator with more than 25 years of experience transforming home infusion and home healthcare. As the co founder of Beyond Walls Healthcare, Fran is passionate about helping nurses expand their impact beyond the bedside through leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Throughout her career, she has led clinical operations, built high performing teams, and developed programs that improve patient outcomes, strengthen documentation practices, and support regulatory excellence. She is nationally recognized speaker on infusion therapy, nursing leadership, compliance, documentation as clinical evidence, and the future of care delivered in the home. Fran is also the founder of the Beyond Walls Home Infusion Nurse Summit, currently pursuing her Doctor of Education. She is committed to developing the next generation of nurse leaders and entrepreneurs through speaking, education, mentorship, and business development. And welcome, Jannifer Stovall is a nurse executive, educator, and nationally recognized leader with more than 30 years of experience in home infusion nursing. As past president of the Infusion Nurses Society, she has dedicated her career to advancing excellence in infusion therapy and developing the next generation of nurse leaders. She is the co-founder and president of Beyond Walls Healthcare Group and the visionary behind Beyond Walls Home Infusion Nurse Summit. Currently pursuing her Doctor of Nurse Practice, Jannifer is passionate about reflective leadership, lifelong learning, and helping nurses recognize the incredible impact they have on patients, families, and the future of healthcare. Help us welcome Jannifer and Fran to the stage.
Good
Woo!
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all both for being here. So it is truly, truly an honor to have two nationally respected leaders who have done some amazing things in the home infusion world. There's so many people that know you in the infusion sector, but long before the certifications and the consulting business and everything else you've done, all the public recognition and all them commas behind your name. I'm going to first ask, who was Jannifer before that? And right after that, Fran, I want to know the same question from you. Who were you before anybody was paying attention?
Good morning, everybody. And Danielle, thank you so much for having us. So, to answer your question, who was Jannifer before this? Before this, Jannifer was a little girl out of Coldwater, Mississippi. Yes, I did say Coldwater, Mississippi. Growing up with a single mom, watching my mom work hard, do all the things that single moms do. Grew up in Coldwater. Just love family. It's all about the family. Fell in love with nursing, and I just have a heart for nurses. I love people, and so nursing allows me just to love on people. um, who am I now? I'm a wife. I have a great hubby named Keith, and I have a son, a 6'7" son named Donovan, and I have a godson named Michael. I'm a sister, cousin, and most of all, I have lots of great friends, and so that's who I am.
All right, now y'all heard that 6'7" Donovan. Very handsome, ladies. Very, very handsome. All right, welcome. All right. Same question for you, Fran.
Good morning, Danielle and everyone. Thank you so much for having us here. I'm so excited about this conversation. I'm a Southern California native, born and raised in Los Angeles. I moved out to the Midwest and spent 18 years in Cincinnati. I was married and my ex-husband's family is in Cincinnati. So I waited until my youngest son was 18 and graduated from high school and decided I don't need any more icy winters. Came back home to California where it's nice and warm and it's always sunny. I've always known that I wanted to be a nurse. There was never any other thought about what I'd be doing. I didn't always know what type of nursing I was going to get into. And to be honest with you, going to nursing school and different opportunities that came across my lap, I always felt like, oh, this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be in the ER. I'm meant to be in the ICU. But the more I learned and the more I experienced, I just loved all of the different doors that were opening up for me. And I just wanted to get my hands and try everything. Home infusion kind of fell into my lap. I didn't even know that this was a specialty that existed. I came from an ambulatory infusion suite. And so to me, the thought of somebody receiving IVIG in their home was mind blowing. I didn't even know that that was something that we could provide for people. And once I started to learn that you could really meet the patients where they are, right? Because they don't have to take off time from work. They don't have to have a driver. You get to know them. You get to one-on-one time with them. I love home infusion. This is my niche. This is where I'm meant to be. And I think the more time I spend in this field, I meet nurses from everywhere. And what really kind of stands out to me is we're all coming into this space with such different levels of experience that I thought, okay, here's where I'm starting to settle in and fit in. There's a need for the education and the understanding. So I consider myself a lifetime learner. I'm currently pursuing my doctorate, like you mentioned, and I'm just enjoying soaking all of it up.
I love it. You two have two very different pathways, right? One married, one's been married, went through a divorce, right? And still hungry for nursing, still have a big fire for nursing, continuing your education. But what I love most is that transition into entrepreneurship as another title for you all as you continue to lead other amazing companies, etc. And so home infusion nursing, when we hear that, most people have no idea what that really means. Most nurses that work in a hospital don't know, like Fran said, you can do IVIG in the home. That's a thing. Most nurses have no idea. They just know home health nursing. And when you say home infusion nursing, some nurses go, huh? It's a little bit of a difference, right? I love home infusion nursing. Now I know exactly what I'm going in and do my assessment, do my medicine, very focused, get in and get out. It was wonderful for me and seeing the transitions for my patients. So yes, nurses, there are opportunities for you in home infusion nursing that nobody tells you about, that allows you to have some flexibility and freedom for your family. Because when you become a single parent, as Fran experienced at one point in her life, you need that sense of flexibility for family. So would you say that family played any type of, what influenced you all at some point in your career to choose home infusion? Fran said it kind of just fell upon her. For me, I chose it because they told me I had to work on Thanksgiving when I was a brand new nurse. And I don't do Thanksgiving working because everybody's going to come to my house and we're going to cook. And this is what I do. And that was my first shock of realizing, oh, this nursing thing, this ain't the way I was dreaming about this when I was in nursing school. So for y'all, what was it?
I think for me, it was somewhat I fell into it when I moved to California. You know what happens. You get married, and my husband said, okay, we're moving to California. And I'm like, okay. And so we moved to California. I'm working at Kaiser and ER. Had done home health and tried it. And to be honest, I did not like traditional home health. It's like, no, this is not for me. And then my manager said, but wait, try this infusion. So I'm like, oh, okay. Went out, put in that first IV. It's like, oh, this is it. And ended up, believe it or not, I was just doing my visits and the manager said, Jannifer, can you cover for the IV supervisor for a while? She's going to be gone. And I said, sure. What do I do? She said, just sit in the chair and just, answer questions. I'm like, I can do that. I did it for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I said yes to everything because for me, if you give me a job, I'm going to get it done. So whenever they needed a visit covered, I'm like, yeah, I can get that covered. I called up all of my ER friends and said, look, I need you to come do this and I need you to go do this visit. And when she came back, they said, Jannifer, can you just stay? And that's how I ended up in infusion as a leader. Home infusion is wonderful. it does give you that flexibility. But what I love about it, it allows you to keep those infusion skills going. You are still a nurse. You still have to have your critical thinking skills. Sometimes I think even more than in the hospital, because in the home, you don't have all of the technology. So you have to use all of your five senses and that extra gut sense that tells you, something's not right. So I love home infusion. This is where I've been since 1990, and this is where I'm going to sail off into the sunset at some point.
I love that. Did y'all catch that she was recruiting? So ER nurses, because you all are usually really, really good with IV skills right up front, right? You're not afraid if you don't get it. So you all make really good home infusion nurses. Now,
Yes.
Fran, it fell in your lap, and it stayed in your lap.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
I would agree. The flexibility is amazing, right? I don't know very many other specialties of nursing that you have that outside of the 7 to 3, 7 to 7 p.m. shift. But I think what I find most attractive about home infusion is there's no monotony. It's different. I might be giving the same therapy to 3 different people. The patients will respond differently to it. I might see an interaction in this person that I maybe have never seen in a different person. Patients' experiences are different. I like talking to the patients and hearing the journey of how they got to home infusion, some of the things that they have to go to get their therapies covered by insurance. Everybody's journey is different. So it's never the same day in home infusion. You think you know what you're going to expect. You think you know what you're walking into. And, there's a patient's cat sitting on the table where you're trying to set up your sterile field, right? So I love that it's just different every day, even if you've been seeing the same patient for 6 months, 6 years, every infusion is different.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that sense of variety. So you both are CRNIs, and it always cracks me up when I'm in the hospital settings and I say, I'm a CRNI, and they go, huh?
Exactly.
What is a CRNI in your own words?
So for me, CRNI means that I have put in the extra time to make sure that when I step into the home to do infusion, I am doing it based on evidence-based practice, that I'm not just guessing. It's not what I think, it's what has been proven. So that's what that CRNI means to me.
All right. How about you, Fran?
I think what really encouraged me to achieve this certification is I didn't want to be just a task doer. I didn't want to be a nurse that was just in following orders. I wanted to understand the therapies that I was administering. So having gone through the certification, I think about TPN differently. I think about it from a pathophysiological perspective. What's happening within my patient's body? What's going on with fluid shifts? And that's what the CRNI education and training prepares you for. So just knowing that, not only am I knowledgeable about the drug itself, potential side effects, but how it's affecting the body, what I should expect from my patient's response. And as Jannifer said, it allows everybody in the industry to know that I've taken the extra effort to educate myself to achieve this certification so that I can be a subject matter expert.
I love it. Certified registered nurse infusion for all of my audience out there. That's who these CRNIs are. So what inspired you all to create Beyond Walls Healthcare?
So for me, like you said, I love home infusion. I love nursing. This is my thing. But over the years and being part of INS and going to all of the different conferences, what I noticed is that home health nurses are doing infusions. But also what I noticed is that they were not getting the information needed. They're not getting that CRNI information. When we go to conferences, I was not seeing the home health nurses. So I'm hearing all of our colleagues and our pharmacy team members talk about what the home health nurses don't know. So I went to my husband and I said, look, I can't keep talking about my colleagues about what they don't know if I'm not going to be a part of the solution. So I said, okay, can we eat peanut butter for a little while? And because I want to do this conference. He goes, well, okay, but your son is allergic to peanut butter, so I don't know what he's going to do. And then I went to Fran. I said, Fran, we got to do something. We have this knowledge. We know people who can share. We've got to get this information to our nurses in the home. Let them know that they are not alone, that we are here for them. We have their back. And Fran said, okay. And so here we are.
I love it. So you saw a problem and
Mhm.
knew that you had a solution that can help the problem. So
Yes.
earlier today, we talked about home health nursing,
Mhm.
home infusion nursing.
Yes.
Many home health companies have a home infusion program. And so it's a different skill set and a different style of nursing that has to happen. And so I know that pharmacies sometimes, home infusion pharmacies sometimes have nightmare moments when they can't find the best home health agencies that have nurses that are strengthened with home infusion nurses. And so you all are finding a solution where you can, in so many senses, co-partner with local home health companies to come together so that you can support in training their nurses to be these top-notch nurses so that we can deliver safe care in a home for our patients who are suffering with multiple sclerosis and need IV infusions and rheumatoid arthritis and I mean, you name it, IVI therapies that require IVIGs. So I
Mhm.
am thrilled and excited that you all have come up with this solution for the Home Infusion Nurse Summit. So let's talk a little bit more about the Home Infusion Nurse Summit. When is it? Where is it? And what makes this summit so unique?
So we are excited. I have to tell myself to calm down because I get so excited about this. So when is it? September 18th through the 20th of this year. So coming up in a couple of months. It's going to be in a city called East Val. It's right outside of Ontario, California, a little bit outside of Los Angeles. So it's called the Inland Empire. And what is it? Um, our focus is home health nurses. We're not, there's so many different areas of nursing, but Fran and I, we're focusing on home health nursing. So this conference is going to be set up strictly for that nurse walking into the home, providing infusion. So I'm going to let Fran tell you a little bit more about it and what's different because we have some pretty cool differences.
Right. Yeah. I think what when Jannifer and I started talking about this, and both of us kind of sharing some experiences, in California where I live, you only have to have been a nurse for a year to enter into the home health space. So if you worked in a med surge unit for a year, and then you want to try your hand at home health, you don't know what you don't know. Oftentimes, the nursing schools, nursing programs, they don't prepare you to start thinking about being knowledgeable of the regulations in your state. So nurses are here just kind of following orders and don't always necessarily know what to question, what's a red flag. I think the other thing that I'm excited about with the summit is we are opening up to home health agencies. I had a past experience where I worked for a home health agency that was owned by a non-clinician. So he was very knowledgeable of the P&L, and he knew that we needed to bill for nursing visits. But he didn't understand that there was certain things that I was able to do within my scope of practice and remaining compliant with my state regulations. So these are some of the nuances that unless you are kind of partnered up with a mentor that can kind of help guide you through these things, you don't know what you don't know. So it's a scary time for nurses because you're in the home by yourself. You're getting direction from someone who maybe is a non-clinician, who doesn't understand the scope of your practice and how your licensure works. And they probably have, malpractice insurance to save themselves. But what about the nurse in the field whose license is on the line? So this is an opportunity for us to bring nurses together, to network, to collaborate, to, whether you've been a nurse for a year or you've been doing home health nurse for 20 years, I'm confident that there's going to be something for you at this conference that you're going to take away and use immediately within your practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
And, can I share this? There's two differences in this conference. One, of course, you're going to get all the we call it the sit at the desk and learn knowledge. We're going to have some wonderful speakers, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Miss Danielle will be there, so we're excited about that. But also for this conference, we're going to have skills lab on that Sunday. We're going to have it set up where, as a nurse, you will come to the table, you will sit with Mr. Peter Pick and Mr. Chester Chess, and we're going to say, show me how you start your PIV. And we're going to just kind of guide you. If you're doing great, we're going to say great. If there's some things maybe you need to do a little differently, we're going to kind of guide you, but we want you to get your hands on. And then the other thing that's different about this conference is that we know that moms and dads, their weekends are very valuable and they've got to take care of the kiddos. Fran talked about being a single parent, and my mom was a single parent, so weekends were valuable. So we wanted to make it a situation where you can bring your kid. They'll go to our kids club. Fran said, let's just have a kids club. So we're going to have a kids club. So mom or dad, you can come to this conference, sign in, go drop your little one off at the kids club. We have trained nannies. We have people who have been working with kids for years. The kids are going to have fun, but you can sit in class and be totally engaged, knowing that your little one is taken care of. 5 and up, we will take care of them for you.
Nothing like a nurse to think about all of those moments to make sure that you can get to the conference and not have to worry about childcare. That's a nurse. That's a nurse owner type behavior right there that I love. That sets nurse owners apart. So, so home health agencies that's in the California area, home health agencies that's nearby, that want to travel to this conference. I'm told that you all have made arrangements with a local hotel and made it very convenient for agencies to fly in. So home health agencies that are wanting to expand your business in the home infusion sector, this is your opportunity to invest and come to a conference with your nurses that would allow the nurses to get some hands-on training, some didactic portion to better understand and how to be safe in giving home infusion, and home infusion pharmacies and specialty pharmacies. You've been out here trying to grow your business by getting the best nursing partners. This is your time to look for companies like Beyond Wall Healthcare Group that help to develop the absolute best nurses in home infusion to support helping us move things forward. Because we know that home infusion nursing, home infusion therapy is going to continue to grow because people want to age at home. They want to get these therapies in a place that's convenient. They don't want to be stuck in a hospital or a long-term care facility just to get their therapies. They don't want to have to drive across town if they know that there is an option to get it safely in their home. So I thank you all for being the solution, for being the babysitter, for being the excuse remover, nurses. This is your opportunity. And also in home infusion nursing, a lot of people don't know this is a great second job, second gig that allows you to take on extra income and do it in a way that works around your family life. I know for me, that's why I stayed in home health and home infusion nursing, because it just works for my life. Yeah. So what networking opportunities will be available at this conference?
We're excited because we have people such as yourself. We have a wonderful young lady named Pam McIntyre, she's just great. She knows all things infusion, all things HCAC, all things INS. She'll be there. We're going to have representatives from the CAD pump, the curling pump, the Sapphire pump there. So you'll get to network with those manufacturers. And then the other thing is just being with other nurses who do what you do every day. Bouncing ideas, hearing others ask questions, you go, oh yeah, I did want to know about that. We're going to have some great guest speakers. We have a young man who's from corporate America who's going to speak Friday night, just talking about leadership. Friday is our leadership track. That's for those owners, those nurse managers, those leaders, those pharmacy owners that come so that you can find out what does it take to be a leader in home health. Then on Saturday, we have a great guest speaker, a young man who used to be the running back coach for the Oregon Ducks. So he's going to talk about how what does football have to do with nursing? You would be surprised. So there are lots of networking opportunities, and we're going to have fun. We're going to even have a line dancing class. So, yes, get your boots. Danielle, get your boots.
Y'all know I love to get on the dance floor and kind of have myself a good old time. I'm looking forward to this conference. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes, Home Infusion Nurse Summit Conference. I'm just going to coin it the conference for the real nurses. The one that's on the floor doing the thing is finally going to have a conference that's going to cater to your needs. So you no longer have to feel like the lone nurse out there, right? We're going to bring the education to support pharmacies even deeper to understand the nuances that Fran mentioned that sometimes they don't know. And for those home health agencies that started just dipping their little feet into home infusion nursing, get on over here to this conference so you can learn more, because there are things that you don't know, you don't want to find out in court. You want to have these types of nurses supporting you who are the experts. So to my fellow CRNIs, I appreciate you. This is and y'all put it in California. That you can't help but to go to California. It's beautiful. It's sunny, right? You got all of these amazing speakers that's going to be there. I can't wait to be in the mix. So who is going with me to California? That's what I'm looking forward to. Meeting all the wonderful people. Hey, I want to take a moment and just give a shout out. We have Aisha. She's here. She said flexibility is key. I have Eliza who just joined, and she said safety and quality care is beyond important. I'm hoping to learn more about this opportunity to grow. Thank you for the wonderful information. Eliza, can't wait to meet you there at the conference. Be sure to share the Home Infusion Nurse Summit conference with your friends. Post it on your social media pages. I dropped the link in the chat so that you all can go to the website, learn more, and register. Bring a friend. This is a perfect reason to get away for a weekend vacation, quote unquote, not vacation, weekend business trip, and enjoy some California sun and learn and grow and elevate. One thing I do know is that when us nurses come together, we sharpen each other.
Yes.
We love on each other. We learn from each other and we grow. Now, one last question. Let me see if this was y'all's experience. When I came into home health and then into home infusion nursing, I was a fairly new nurse and I got ripped apart for leaving a hospital bedside so early in my nursing career. However, I was able to become a director of nursing and administrator in less than 2 years from leaving the hospital. So home infusion nursing, home health nursing was a huge and fast pathway for me to eventually become a chief nursing officer. Tell me, what was your experience and how many years, how long did it take before you ended up being chief nursing officers?
For me, it was a fast track. For two reasons. It's because I was so hungry to be the best that I could in home infusion. So I was just reading, learning, asking questions. But the more questions I asked, I learned that people didn't know. So I had to go out and get information, bring it back to the agency. And so therefore, people started to say, well, Jannifer, can you take on this project? Well, can you just do this? And all of those, can you just do this, led to me becoming an infusion nursing supervisor, infusion nursing assistant director of nursing, infusion nursing director of nursing, and to your point, Danielle, eventually, moving into a CNO role.
Yeah, I would agree with that. When I started my career in the hospital, I think the highest I got in leadership in the hospital was the charge nurse. But our chief nursing officer had been at our hospital for 1,000 years. She wasn't going to go anywhere. The managers on my unit, they were there. That was their career path, and they were there, and they were not going anywhere. And the hospital is kind of fixed, right? If you're a 400, 600, 800 bed hospital, unless you build another tower, like that's kind of it. So there's not a lot of room to grow quickly. But I agree with what you're saying, Danielle. My first job in home infusion, I was there for a year and I became their director of nursing. If I'm being honest, it was probably because of the bench of nurses we had. I had the most experience, but because the home infusion space is growing. Lots of agencies are opening. I'm seeing directors of nursing regional directors, directors assigned to a certain pocket of the country, because pharmacies are coming up. They're getting their home health licenses, and this is an industry that's rapidly growing. So it's definitely a pathway for nursing leadership. And to Jannifer's point, Friday is our leadership track, because these are some of the things that you're not taught in nursing school. No one tells you how to balance your budget. No one tells you about productivity in nursing school. You're taught the basics, and you don't get a lot of that stuff in the hospital setting unless you're in a leadership role, which is not always very easy to come by.
Ooh, Fran, you actually said something that I actually said at one of my conferences. You said, to get that chief nursing officer role, you got to wait for them people to die out of that role.
You really do.
It's fact, because the chief nursing officer roles, once you get it, it is a really good role. But in the hospital, the tenure of that role tends to be a bit longer than in some of our settings. I had the opportunity to travel the most, being in chief nursing officer roles and director of nursing roles in home infusion, because it expands so fast and moves territories, and it really, really just changed the trajectory of my life. So nurses that's looking to get into leadership, come to the conference. Here's your opportunity to learn from amazing leaders how to get yourself in positions to lead, and how to get yourself into positions that is more suitable for your family life. So as we get ready to close, I think I had more fun than y'all. Y'all know I love nursing too. I'm a nurse at a nurse's heart. So tell me, what difference did it make for you all with starting your business and getting a nurse coach? Did it make any difference for you? Does it matter?
Well, I would say,
let's just start.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead first, Fran.
No, I was going to say absolutely. I think, when Jannifer and I started collaborating and coming up with these ideas, I think even with our experience, we had an idea of what needed to be done, but we weren't necessarily aware of the path to get there, right? Like, we knew we needed to have an LLC. Well, what does that look like? How do we decide where we're going to do it? We knew we needed to have, a business account. So having a nurse consultant, just to kind of make sure that our mindset was on the right track, and then to kind of help steer us in certain directions. If we were starting to shift a little bit too far to the left, working with you, Danielle, no, Jan and Fran, come back over here. This is what you need to be doing. And this is why, right? This is why. So helping us not only to make sure that we're staying on the right path, but understand the why we're doing what we're doing, why this maybe this is better than maybe going down this way. So I think it's 10 out of 10 recommend.
Outstanding. How about you, Fran?
For me is, I've been doing this for 30 years, and I've dabbled into some other entrepreneurial opportunities. But for me, what is so important from Danielle, she holds me accountable. She makes sure that, okay, Jan, did you do this? Did you do your one-on-one? Okay, did you look at this? And it just made me feel more comfortable knowing that with Danielle, knowing what I know, I didn't want to miss what I didn't know. So that's what she brings. So please make sure you utilize her services. She's good at what she does, and she is so personable, and she's on point, honest with you. If it doesn't make sense, she's going to tell you it doesn't make sense. Let's think about this. And she explains to you why. So Danielle, thank you. You have been such a part of our journey. And 20 years from now, we're going to say, you remember when Danielle told us blah, 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 and look where we are now.
I love it. It took me having a coach. It took me having mentors, because when you're trying to get to the next level, you have to work with someone who's already gotten to that level and beyond, right? And you all are going to be coaching others and helping them to take it to the next level, because it's really all about just giving back. So I appreciate you too. I'm looking forward to this journey together. And you're right. I can't wait to look back a year from now and see how much impact this had made for even more nurses. And as we continue to help to create competent nurses in the field of home health. So here's our rapid fire action section. Don't overthink it. Fran, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite leadership book?
I'm a fan of John Maxwell. I think the last book I read was Developing the Leader Within You.
Most rewarding part of your career?
Just knowing that I make a difference. It sounds cliche and corny, but just knowing that I'm making a difference and my little piece of making the world better.
Love it. One word describing Beyond Walls.
Oh, exciting.
Your dream keynote speaker.
Let me see. Oh gosh, don't think too much. Barack Obama.
Woo! Yeah. We talking about Donovan 6'7". Now we're talking about Barack Obama. Oh boy, you pull that off. Everybody at the conference. Barack, our former president Barack Obama is much more than his beautiful statuettes and all of those things. But we like some eye candy. All right, I did
Beauty and a brain.
I did not just say that. No, President Barack Obama. Much respect. Yeah. All right, move on. Jannifer, morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Best advice received?
Never give up.
Leadership habit?
Give back to others.
One thing attendees will leave with?
Knowing that they have somebody to support them.
Your favorite quote?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Okay, final questions for this goes to both of you. If you can leave every nurse listening today with one message, what would it be?
Know that home health is growing. You are needed, you are valued, and we are here to get you what you need. So come to the conference because we got you.
I love it. Right.
Yeah, I think I would just want to tell any nurse that's listening to this, don't be afraid to dream big. You're bigger than what you are, and there's never the right time. There's never enough money. We're all very busy. Just set your sight on something and then just do it. Just go for it.
Love it. Just jump, y'all. All right. So thank you all for being here on the Nursing in Style podcast. Thank you for my wonderful, wonderful guests, Jannifer and Fran, who I affectionately call now Jan and Fran. Thank you all for the guests that was able to watch live here on the podcast. Be sure to like and share, and be sure to register to attend the Home Infusion Nurse Summit Conference. This is the conference for nurses. Remember to lead boldly, innovate fearlessly, and own your piece of healthcare. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, Danielle. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.